We have that. All right, gang, session 7, one more after this to finish. Don't forget that one. That's important for those of you trying to get that certificate. You got to be in all of them. You are in for a treat. William's got energy. He's going to tell you all about junior achievement. It's awesome. Just so you know, probably 15 minutes in, I will drop the attendance, and then near the end, I'll drop the survey for the session. So William comes from us as not only an Eagle Scout, Rotarian, a graduate at Arizona State, but let's make sure I have it right, the Director of Development for Junior Achievement, and they picked the right person for that job. So William, the show is yours.
All right. Thank you so much for the intro, Dave. I hope everybody's been having a great Saturday. We'll kick this off. I'm just gonna admit people here and share sound. Let's see. All right. As Dave mentioned, I'm going to teach everybody and talk to everybody a little bit about that works. Junior achievement. So junior achievement of Southern Nevada. And I'll kind of explain what JA is and a little bit about our incredible project that we're in the process of, and just kind of how all this ties together here. So, and exactly what I just told you, I like the military format of I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you, then I'm going to tell you what I told you. So again, what is JA, our project, and then what the actual building Junior Achievements Inspiration Center looks like. So spoiler, the project is, we're calling it our JA Inspiration Center, and more on that in just a little bit here. So Junior Achievement, our mission is empowering youth to their own economic success. So I like to say we teach kids about money and finances. We are the world's leading nonprofit in economic education. So I'll point to this a little bit later. We teach over 10 million students worldwide in over 100 different countries. Oh, there you go. So 10 million students in over 100 different countries, which is, again, incredible, just the scope of junior achievement. And which leads me to our next guy is just, I want to say a few weeks ago, we were, as an organization globally, were nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize for the 2nd year in a row, which again, absolutely floors me. And then we've been around. So this is not just, hey, a few days ago, we woke up and kind of just started throwing stuff. We've been around and teaching kids about financial literacy for over 100 years. Our 3 pillars here in Southern Nevada that we really wrap all of our programs around is financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and workforce readiness. So again, teaching kids literally about money, teaching kids what it takes to start their own business and how running a business happens, and workforce readiness or work readiness. So teaching a kid how to get ready for their career, but also exposing them to all different kinds of careers and industries that we've got. So, I like to share this because a lot of people go, you guys teach kids about money. How does that have to do with peace and winning the Nobel Peace Prize? It was through this framework that peace is only possible when youth in all countries and regions have access to economic empowerment. And that was the framework for which we were nominated globally for the Nobel Peace Prize for the 2nd time. So that's my humble, not so humble brag about JA. Here in the United States, we teach 5 million, so about half of the 10 students every single year. And here in Southern Nevada, we have taught over 500,000 or 500,000 students in the entire course and lifetime that we've been here, and we've been here for over 26 years. And that kind of breaks down to annually, just about every year we teach, and typically we're kind of right over that, which is kind of nice. We teach over 20,000 kids every single year about financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and workforce readiness. Currently, how we do this, and I hope this worked out. I was kind of doing some interactive stuff. So again, feel free if you want to ask a question, or if you want to jump on the camera and say, hey, this doesn't make sense, or if you want to jot something in the chat, by all means, please do. I like a little interaction, and Dave helped me out our last session. So, if any questions, by all means, just type away. Right now we teach those 20,000 kids through two main ways: in classroom volunteering and our JA Finance Park mobile unit. This is what our JA in a day looks like. This is at Sewell Elementary School. And in this program, what we do is we take over an entire elementary school. So we take over an entire elementary school with an army of volunteers, and we get to teach in this kind of elementary school program, kindergarten all the way through 5th grade, about, again, financial literacy and entrepreneurship, and kind of work readiness is kind of built in that. So you'll explore different careers, different jobs. And I also like to share this picture, because a lot of people think financial literacy, you probably only have a whole bunch of bank tellers that are just teaching this stuff. We love to partner with all different kind of community folks. So this is a African-American sorority that we partnered with, that's out of UNLV, and they gotta come. Oh, Sheila's in. Hi, Sheila. So they got to come in and help teach our curriculum to this elementary school. And again, I like to highlight that we're not just, recruiting only bank tellers or finance people. This is a picture of Tony Sanchez and Melissa Wheeler. And we're giving them, you kind of mentioned Rotary earlier, Dave. We got to award and recognize them in one of our Rotary Club meetings. And this is NV Energy, another incredible partner. Not only do they financially support junior achievement and are a great partner, but they will, just like in that last picture, there we go, they will send us, we'll pick a day and say, this is NV Energy's day to take over this elementary school and teach financial literacy to those kids. So this is one of my other favorite pictures in this. This is a picture of our JA Finance Park. And I'm going to play 2 short videos. One of them explains a little bit more in detail what Finance Park is all about. This, if you can see it, all of those booths and little carts, they fold open. And this enables us to teleport those programs all around Southern Nevada. In our last session, somebody asked about if those programs are provided up in Reno. And we actually, we have a separate, call it chapter or office up in Reno, that kind of operates, not by itself, but as a separate chapter, if you will. And so we'll kind of share this JA mobile finance park with them. So up in Reno, there's a chance where you can do this simulation as well. Like you mentioned, it's portable, so it all folds up into our super JA amazing super box truck is the name I'm giving it. So you can literally, again, just teleport this just about anywhere. In fact, this picture was taken in a gymnasium in Indian Springs, so just outside of town here. And again, it's really cool because sometimes a lot of those communities that are further out from Las Vegas, a lot of times they don't get this kind of programming. And so for us to be able to teleport this over there was really, really fun. What we're talking about, and what I'm going to tell you a little bit more about here, is we are building our inspiration center. That's what we're calling it. And we're talking about delivering 2 programs like no other. And like I mentioned before, right now, Nevada and the whole state of Nevada, we do not have a permanent facility where we can run those programs. So we're in the process of building this, if you will. The 2 programs are JA BizTown and JA Finance Park. And I told you a little bit more about Finance Park just a second ago. And then JA BizTown is kind of a sweet spot for 5th graders, 10-year-olds. And they go through 12 lessons of in-classroom learning. And then the culmination of that, they get to take a field trip, the ultimate field trip, to our JA BizTown campus, and they get to run a full simulated city. And I'll show you a little fun video about that. So this is my favorite exercise of this gig here, is I like to ask everybody on the call to just take a second and try and picture yourself at 10 years old and what your entire, what your life looked like, what your favorite toy was, what movie you were watching, and what just take yourself back in time to 10. This may date me a little bit, but this is what my 10-year-old self looked like. One of the first Game Boys had just come out. It was awesome. Hi, Sheila. Our favorite movie was Batman and Robin with George Clooney as Batman. Thought that was totally cool. And the highest selling toy of the year was the Furby. So everybody back to when you're 10, right? If you want to put in the chat your favorite toy that you're hanging out with at 10, or your best friend at 10 years old, it's all good. So now that we're all back, taking a little time travel, ask yourself, how much did you know about money at 10? Hey, Sheila. So ask yourself, how much did you know about money at 10 years old? And I'm going to show a short little video that shows what this program is doing and how we're teaching 10-year-olds about money. It'll go. Again, this is our program, JA BizTown.
I'm a kid, and it seems like my parents are always telling me, just wait until you get out in the real world. Just wait until you have a job. And do you think money grows on trees? But as a kid, how do I know what the real world is even like? Or find out what it's like to have a job? And if money doesn't grow on trees, tell me, where does it come from? I think this is exactly why we need to give Junior Achievements BizTown a home right here in Las Vegas. It's a place where kids like me can learn all the ins and outs of the life in the real world. Jobs, resumes, making money, spending money, and saving it. In a simulated city. After 10 weeks of classroom learning, we get to go to BizTown, where we run all the businesses, work in them, and even lead the city government. It's a simulated experience that has real-world results.
So BizTown is a critical part of the curriculum that we use at our schools because it's the experience that the kids get that we can't provide in the classrooms.
I think this is a great way in talking to some of the students. The curriculum really didn't come together until they arrived here today, and they could go to the different shops and then they could have those roles and really understand what it means to be an adult.
We provide a storefront, and the kids can come in and be business owners and kind of get a handle on what it is to run a small business. And in return, we get a chance to contribute in one small way to their development and the future leaders of our communities.
The children, after this experience, by far are better able to articulate what it's like to have a job. They understand why they're in school, why it's important, and why they need to focus and work hard throughout the rest of their education.
Right now, for Las Vegas students to experience BizTown, we have to travel to San Diego or Phoenix. But if we can get enough support from you, we can have our very own BizTown here in Las Vegas.
This permanent BizTown will bring important real-life lessons about work and money, saving and spending to thousands of students every year.
And there are lessons that will stay with us for a lifetime as we get our first jobs, go to college, and enter the workforce, and maybe even start our own business. But don't just take it from me. Take it from the kids who have been to BizTown themselves. The most important thing I've learned is that being an adult is not easy. There's a lot of responsibilities that, you have to take to be an adult, Well, I've learned that money doesn't grow on trees. I learned what adults have to deal with, like the responsibilities they have. We also get to learn how hard an adult life is.
Help us fund BizTown Las Vegas.
Help us fund BizTown Las Vegas. Just go to jalasvegas.org to see how you can help.
Cool. Everybody excited? I want to go to BizTown. Does anybody else want to go to BizTown? So like you saw in the video, those are real jobs designed around real positions and real responsibilities. And I love to show this too, because again, it really doubles down on those three pillars that we talked about earlier. This is a description, a job description of one of our sister offices in JA. I think this was sent from JA San Diego. And this is actually for kids to run a construction company. And I'll zoom in a little bit further because I like to see what I'm reading. So in this, again, we're asking a 10-year-old as the CEO or CFO. Those are the top 5 things that they are going to be asked to do. They have to obtain a bank loan. They have to place orders for business operations. They learn how to supervise people at 10. And my favorite part that really connects it to actual real hands-on stuff is they have to input their employee information, and they actually have to sign the checks before they give them to their employees, just like in real life. Also within JA BizTown, there is what we call an in-simulation currency called BizTown Bucks. And so you will go from running your own business to actually getting to be the consumers and spend money on the other businesses. Then it's a real world experience in a simulated city. And this is what this looks like in this are, again, our sister city down in San Diego. And part of this is if you're elected as the CEO, you get to introduce yourself and introduce your business to your JA BizTown community for the day and explain, this is what we do as a business, and we hope you do business with us. So it's kind of like a lesson in self-confidence and self-marketing. And again, it blows me away that you get to do this at 10. So I like to share this little fun story, is that when I first started with JA, me and Michelle Jackson, our incredible fearless leader and CEO, we took a trip to JA in Arizona, and we got to see this whole thing in operation, and it absolutely blew my socks off. I saw, what was it? I had to pull aside one of the little kids, the little 5th graders, said, please tell me what's going on. This is incredible. I see all those kids working so hard, just totally immersed in the simulation. And the little guy goes, well, in this BizTown simulation, I work for the utility company. And he was pointing to, he goes, my job is to record. I go around to all those businesses you see here, and I record how much energy they're using. After I do that, I fill my little form out and I report back to my CFO, John here, my friend John, who's the CFO of this utility company. And he creates what you adults call an invoice, and he sends it to all the other businesses. And he goes, and that's how we make money. And it blew me away to have a 10-year-old totally understand that, because I can guarantee you, I know adults who have no idea how that works. And for a 10-year-old to really, truly get that, it just blew me away. So my favorite part about that is the 10-year-old, because he was having so much fun. He told me really politely, no, mister, I can't spend that much time with you. I have to get back to work. So if you could please move along. He kind of shoved me away. But you see those kids loving to get a practice being adults in this full simulation. For those of you who might not be an elementary school educator, Finance Park is for our middle school to high school age range, and it's another full simulation, and it's set up in a little bit different way. And I've got another short video that kind of shows how we implement this. Again, it's for middle school to high schoolers, and it's an in-depth personal finance education program. It's where students, they become adults through simulated life scenarios. And I like to call this as actually, he's one of the young men that's in this next video, Zakori. He tells me, he goes, you know, Will, I'm so happy I got to do this as a high schooler, because this is like adulting 101, and I get to practice being an adult, and it has actual life application. And he goes, I'm so grateful and happy I got to practice doing this before I became a real adult. So, and this is, like I said, this is a short video on what is Finance Park.
As a teen, I have a lot on my mind.
But what's going through my head isn't how I'm going to pay this month's water bill,
Make the house payment, budget for my groceries and childcare.
or how much I should put away for retirement.
That's why Junior Achievement created Finance Park.
To teach important money and credit management skills.
By giving students like me a taste of life in the real world.
the one that's full of jobs, insurance, bills.
mortgages, and tough decisions on how to spend money.
In Finance Park, we get to experience real-world financial situations in a virtual community setting.
And we see how the decisions we make on money can have a big impact on our life.
How does Finance Park work?
We're each given a unique life situation,
An age, income, marital status, kids, and a job.
and we have to learn how to spend our money on necessities like bills, groceries, and some fun extras.
All while making sure our accounts are balanced at the end of the program.
I am 30 years old. I am single. I have one child. My gross annual income is $36,250. I'm a manufacturer's representative.
My name's Kaylee and I'm a curriculum developer.
To be comfortable, I would need at least $70,000 because $36,000 is not even enough.
With the help of Finance Park's volunteer mentors,
We learn about incomes, budgeting, saving, investing.
how to balance a checkbook, how to use credit,
And why exactly we have insurance.
But the most important thing, we see how far our dollars can actually go.
I think after doing Junior Achievement Finance Park, they get to learn, if nothing else, maybe a little bit more respect for their parents and what they have to deal with. And the fact that it's not easy when you grow up. There is a lot of responsibility that comes with all of that freedom. And most of it's financial.
I think the hands-on experience is very unique to what we do here. We do a lot of other in-classroom programming, but this particular one is very hands-on and interactive with a little bit older age group of kids, and I think the message resonates.
So the beautiful thing about Finance Park is it makes people think about all aspects, not just what's in front of them. I think too much today in society, kids and all of us are just what's in the moment without thinking bigger and thinking longer. I think you see the light go off in the kids because they're like, oh, I didn't think about that, or just all the different components. And even as adults, that cumulative impact of all the decisions in life and the financial impact, not just the one thing in front of them.
Learning these money management skills sooner rather than later.
could be the difference between those of us who thrive as adults
and become productive citizens that can contribute to our community.
And others who struggle to keep their heads above water.
It's a treat, to learn to prepare and to be appreciative of your parents because it's kind of stressful.
It's actually really, really fun. I came in here thinking this would be a boring old class with lectures. It was just really professional.
Finance Park inspires students to be smart with their money,
how to get ready for the workforce,
and most importantly, how to aspire to greater things.
Junior Achievement wants to bring these much-needed financial lessons
to as many students as possible here in Las Vegas.
And to do that, we need your help to make Finance Park available all year long.
To serve the thousands of students here in the Valley that need these skills.
Students just like me.
Students just like me.
Students just like me.
Finance Park from Junior Achievement.
Cool.
As
there we go. I'm gonna take a peek at the chat. If you can put your camera on for your oh, thanks, Sheila. I appreciate that. I like to say, with your help, as in everybody in this room, we partner with other corporations and businesses and individuals who make incredible gifts, but also with your help as educators, by helping sign up and be a part of this program. You are all, and we are all, making this whole thing possible. So again, I say I am, and I really should just take the word I out of my community. We are just on this incredible journey to serve all those kids. So hold on. See, there we go. So our plan is, in the next 5 years, we're going to grow. I mentioned we serve 20,000 kids every single year. Our plan is, in the next 5 years, to serve over 60,000 students every single year. This will allow us to triple our impact. This is the best bang for your buck. I'm going to roll through some of here. And I like to just mention this. This is really truly setting up, and Michelle says this so brilliantly. We are setting up the next generation of Las Vegas. We're truly leaving a legacy by being a part of those programs. And we're changing the trajectory of our community by being a part of this. So again, thank you all for just being on here and kind of learning more about Junior Achievement. And at the end of here, I'll share a little fun QR code so you can learn more about how to get involved and be a part of this. Some people like the stories. I wanted to share a little bit of data also. So this was a survey that was done just recently, last June. Came out, and it surveys students all across the United States from other JAs who have this program. So, and it's from kids who've gone through either or. And you see a huge boost in this. So 90% say that JA played an important role in believing that they can achieve their goals. It's 85% of them said it gave them confidence in new situations. And 91% reported that JA motivated them to learn. And this is my favorite stat, especially for our educators here. We know that once a student, they go through those 12 lessons of in-classroom learning, and then they take a trip and they get to do the hands-on simulation and do the fun day of learning at our JA Inspiration Center. We know that once they go back into the classroom, the engagement goes up. They're motivated to learn, just like in this little segment says. And it's because that once they go through this, they see that, and last session, I kind of picked on math educators, and I only do so because I was awful at math. They know that once a kid goes back into that classroom, that maybe really hard or boring math class is not just a boring math class I got to take anymore. That math class applies to the real world, and it applies to real money. And oh my gosh, I should definitely double down and learn this stuff because it could change my life later on. So that's my favorite statistic that shows it connects the real world to what we're teaching in the classroom. And that leads us to this one, which is 93 out of 100 kids will graduate high school that go through our program. And this is kind of how it breaks down. 20,000 through our current programs. I shared our JA in a day and our mobile finance park unit. And then we're going to serve 20,000 through BizTown and another 20,000 through Finance Park. And that's every single year, which is just blows the top off this whole thing. Or you can look at it, 84% of all 5th and 9th graders. Like I mentioned, that's kind of our sweet spots are those 2 grade levels. However, you can do BizTown is, I believe the youngest you can do is 4th grade. So if you're a 4th grade educator on this call and you say, I really want to do this like now, please get in touch with us. We would love to talk to you about scheduling that out and having you be a part of one of our BizTown days. And 9th graders is our sweet spot for the Finance Park. And again, I believe we've had up to 12th graders, the seniors in high school go through that program, to 8th graders go through that program. So there's a little wiggle room in that sense. So my other favorite part of this is that somebody asked in one of the, why is it only 84%, which is an incredible number. But I was so happy they asked that. And at the time, I didn't know the answer. And Michelle gave, our CEO, she gave an incredible answer. The reason it's 84% is only because of the number of school days. So once we fill all of our school days with the number of classrooms and it's really just a capacity issue. So just so excited to get to impact all of those kids. Again, JA, it's help with a purpose. And I love this image because this lady is just going places. And again, this is what we do. Again, bringing it back to our 3 pillars: financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and workforce readiness. And we're connecting those to students, to young families. I love whenever we get a volunteer in the classroom right now, just about every time I hear such incredible stories where a 5th grader will go back and they'll send a note of what they learned, and they'll say, I got to teach my own family a little bit more about finances. And so it's really you see the kids just opening up and learning about this, but you also see the families learning about this. And we're connecting to businesses, like kind of that workforce readiness spectrum of it, and really just to everybody in our community here. As Michelle Jackson seamlessly put it, our fearless leader and incredible CEO, we are at the intersection of business and education. So a little bit about our project and where we are now. We just, I want to say 2 months ago, and Sheila, you actually got to come down and see this, which was amazing. And thank you so much for coming over. We just closed on a building. It's 50,000 square feet. And on the topic of financial literacy, we are in a financial position to purchase the building completely outright. So there's no debt on the building because of our incredible partners and funders and people that have made this dream a reality. We have purchased this whole thing outright. When I talked about serving 60,000 kids every single year, we are looking to have actually 80,000 of students, volunteers, 80,000 people come through our doors every single year. So you talk about kind of fun and exposure and really impacting the community. This is a way we do it in a big way. And again, I credit Michelle Jackson, our CEO, with all of just in how she looks at things very differently, I'll say, in the best of ways. This is truly a collaboration partnership with our community. So it's not his baby. We've been open to collaborating with other organizations. In a few slides, I'll show you our one of the components is our entrepreneurship hub and our career center. And so we've already looked at collaborating with Goodwill and Workforce Connections, two incredible organizations who already do that career aspect incredibly well. And so we've looked at other organizations on how to partner and how to have, let's not recreate the wheel. Let's use those amazing organizations to do this, what they do really well. So the other part of this, and I'll show this kind of in the blueprint, is we're open to having, if you're on the call and you happen to own a business and you say, I would love to do an executive retreat at a place like this, we would love to host you. And we do this, or I'll say we do this, we're going to be doing this a lot and all the time kind of deal, and just exposing what JA does for our community. So again, we're creating the next generation of Las Vegas. Our timeline, which a lot of people like to know, is probably a really important part. We are scheduled to open Q2 of 2024, which is right around the corner. And I have to keep pinching myself to say, holy buckets, this is coming really exciting and fast kind of deal. So location. This is where we're located, which is a lot of text. So I like to zoom in and simplify it. We are right off of Tropicana in the 515 freeway. So, we couldn't have picked a better location, kind of central of Las Vegas-ish, right off the freeway. And this will enable us, again, to kind of increase we'll call it the love and value of this specific kind of community right around here. And also, again, just the access to have people right now, like you saw in the video, there are different schools that will travel all the way to Arizona to do this program. And so we anticipate not only serving just Southern Nevada, but somebody was asking about Reno, and we're totally open to, if somebody wants to truck down from Reno or from Utah or some other place to and do our programs, we're again collaborating and open to helping as many students as we can. So everybody want to see it, what it looks like or what it's going to look like? This is our Junior Achievement Inspiration Center. This is the front kind of first digital renderings of what this whole thing is going to look like. And again, we are so excited. Again, call out to Sheila. We met right now, doesn't look like this, but we met inside this actual building and got to kind of do a walking, really fun tour of what everything is going to look like here. This is our blueprint of this whole incredible experience. We're building like the Disneyland of financial education. As you walk in, and I'll do a little, let's see, where'd my little guy go? As you walk in, can everybody see my mouse okay? Cool. So as you walk in the lobby, you'll check in here. And this was actually the original check-in desk we bought our building. Is a former 24-hour fitness. And so we're talking about, repurposing things. This little check-in desk we're keeping as you walk in for Finance Park, you're going to come into the multi-purpose room. You'll come into here, you'll get briefed and trained, and then the air walls will kind of open up and you will enter into what is Finance Park for the first time, which is so exciting. The other, I like to mention that too, is because this was one of the best kind of lessons learned from other JAs around the country that we either toured or had conversations with and kind of picked their brains. They said that Finance Park and BizTown, both incredible, they're just visceral experiences. A lot of other JAs, when you come into their BizTown, the first thing you walk into is a BizTown, and it is overwhelming for a lot of students. I know it's going to be overwhelming for me as an adult to walk into this, see all this incredible stuff. And so you come in to kind of get settled and briefed on what your day is going to look like, what the program is going to look like. Like saw in that video for Finance Park, you'll get your tablets, which is part of that program. You'll start building your budget out, which is part of that program. And you'll understand what you're there for more. And then again, the air walls will open up and you'll get to see what this is all about. So this is what it's going to look like as we walk down the hallways to Finance Park. We'll take a left. And this is kind of some of our fun renderings of what this looks like here. And then JA BizTown, our fully simulated city on the other side of the wall, if you will. You're going to walk down, again, stop in the multi-purpose room, and then you're going to take a right. And I would be remiss, I don't think I mentioned this in our last presentation, but the other way cool part about this is this whole space right in here is we measured it out. You can place, I can't remember, I know the total number of people you can place. It's about 300 or what is it? 35 rounds. And so other nonprofits that want to collaborate with us, that want to do a gala or an annual dinner, you can put all of those circular tables. I'm familiar with putting on galas and luncheons and stuff like that. You can host your event here at our place and space. So that turns out to about 350 people. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, just a couple of questions because I know we'll be watching the clock. From Sheila, how long are the students at the center during the day? Are both programs the same length? And how do teachers get on the list to be able to bring their classes to the center once it's open?
I'll try and go in reverse order. To get on the list is contact us. And that's really simple, but it really is, as we're in that timeline, we're just starting now to build out our scheduling of, okay, XYZ elementary school, you guys have been raising your hand and saying, sweet, you're going to be the first one slotted in. And so we're just starting to build that scheduling. So for sure, contact us. The second kind of questions is, and it's a full day simulation. So, and I don't, forgive me because I don't know the exact time requirements, but it's, instead of going to school, you're going to spend, I believe, your entire day. So, you'll get to school and then you're going to take the buses to our facility. And then I believe it's, at least in my head, like elementary hours is like around 2:15 is when you get out. So it's your whole day of school is here. And then, what was it? Both the programs in length, like I said, are about the same roughly. Oh, all right.
Thanks, William. Appreciate it.
Yeah. And then this is the renderings of what it looks like as you come out of the air walls and you're looking into JA BizTown. Like I might have mentioned, in the BizTown simulation, you as a class, you elect a mayor. So you have to run even the government in this city, which is just way, way cool. And so this is a little insight to what our city hall looks like. You have, like, kind of in that job description, you got to obtain a bank loan. There's a bank obviously in Biztown. PNC Bank is a fun highlight. They were one of our first adopters to say, we are all in on this simulation. We love what you guys do for kids. We want to be a part of this. And this is another rendering of kind of what this looks like on the inside. And then this is an example of what, again, we're really open to exposing kids. So on those 3 pillars, financial literacy, teaching kids about money, how it flows through a community, entrepreneurship, so learning how to literally run a business, and every one of those little boxes here are one of those businesses, and work readiness or workforce readiness, so exposing them to all different kind of careers. This is just a fun kind of example one we put together for some concept ideas in advanced manufacturing. So I know when I was 10, I thought I could be a doctor and maybe a lawyer, and I could, be a soldier in the army. And that was like my big things that I thought, right? And I don't think I ever would have said advanced manufacturing or some of those other positions that the other kids mentioned on those videos. So it's really exposing them to all different kind of careers and industries. Then our 2 other spaces here. And I'll say most of the schools and students who go through those programs are going to be with a class. Those 2 other spaces, the Career Center and Entrepreneurship Hub, those are kind of scheduled out and open to kind of the general youth public. So if you go through Biztown as a 5th grader and you say, I want to make my own restaurant, how would I learn about doing that? You might schedule time to come back and work on your idea in the Entrepreneurship Hub. This is what that looks like. And then this is what our admin kind of staff area looks like as well. My favorite part about this is this room right here, our boardroom, which actually has windows here into Finance Park. And I'll see, kind of get a decent-ish view up here. This is what it looks like, at least our rendering of it. And again, that serves 2 really cool purposes. There's a big synergy there, and we did that very intentionally, where if you're a board member or someone in the community and you're in this meeting, you get to look right out the window and see the program and the kids in action and just get energized and fired up. And then, so that's obviously an awesome part of that. And then the second side of it is if you're a student, you actually also get to do the same thing. You get to look in and see our community members and our board members at work doing real work in the boardroom, whether it's a meeting or whatever it might be. But as a student, you get to see, wow, those are the adults and leaders of our community making stuff like this happen. So it's that way cool synergy between having that mirror kind of deal. And then the last thing I like to say is, somebody asked about the raters in our last section. My favorite JA aha moment is last year for our luncheon. This gentleman here his name is Michael Chrome. He is the CFO of the Las Vegas Raiders, and he himself is actually a JA alum from Ohio. And this luncheon, what we'll do is we'll select our top 3 teams of 5th graders, and they'll get up on stage and they will present in a Shark Tank manner their business idea that they've been working on. And the panel of judges got to kind of pick, just like in Shark Tank, which one's the best. And then we do a poll from the audience, a really fun, interactive kind of part of it. Not teams are picked to go up on stage, right? And so this little boy, he came up to me because he wasn't picked, and he tugs on my jacket and goes, "Will, my team wasn't picked. I don't even get a shot at this scholarship. You've ruined my future. I'm never going to college. I am so bummed and just distraught, and I'm so sad that I'm here." So it kind of crushes you, right? Just heartbreaking to hear that. And I said, "Little guy, let me talk to you right after this luncheon." And so the luncheon goes on, and again, Michael, he gave his keynote speech about how incredibly inspirational and powerful it was when he was a kid in Ohio. He had a junior achievement volunteer expose him to the world of finance, and his message, it said in a much more inspirational way than I'm saying it, is that it's not where you are now, it's that you can be and do whatever you want in life, and it's where you're going. And he just says it in this amazing way of, and where he grew up and kind of how he went through life. And at the end of the luncheon, this same little boy, I saw him giving Michael a big hug, and he comes up to me and he says, he tugs on my jacket again as, Will, I'm so happy that I gotta be here today. And I'm so happy that I gotta hear what Michael had to say. And you know what? I don't need your scholarship because I know I can make my own business and I know I can do whatever I want in life. And I can do it myself. And it was just that, to me, that's my personal best JA. So on top of all the things we're doing for kids, we are getting up to inspire them to dream bigger and dream longer and further. So that's my last thing I like to say. And with that, if you want to come and check this out and see it in person and be a part of this, you can actually scan, this is your invitation, you can scan this here. It'll take you to one of our QGive websites, and all you got to do is click the events tab, and it will register for you for a ticket. And the tickets are totally free. That's just kind of an arbitrary thing we got to do on our website. But we would love to see you all, if you can, on May 16th, which is the second Tuesday, maybe the third Tuesday in May. And we're going to have our kind of another one of our large open houses, and we'd just love to see anybody and everybody who would want to come out and see this project as it is before we totally demo it and build this whole thing. So you'll get a before picture and then come back and sign up, and you'll see the after picture. So thank you so much, everyone.
William, amazing, absolutely amazing. This is so exciting. So love to see the pictures, love to see where this is going, watching it grow. So you did an amazing job. And to those on, make sure you fill out that survey form, and at 3:30, you're back in the main room. Janie has all the prizes and all kinds of amazing things for those of us who've made it through our great day of learning. So thank you, William, so much, and Sheila for jumping in as well. I know she's been a big part of this the whole time. So
thank you, Dave, for helping facilitate this and just being on this with us. And Sheila, thank you so much for giving us the chance to share what we're doing with JA.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking time out of your Saturday to come share with the teachers this exciting news.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to stop sharing, I think, or.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and stop the recording. I think most of them are just doing up their surveys.